What do men want in a relationship? I'm not condoning any of this. I'm not saying this is a good thing. I'm just saying this is the way that things are based on data that I've looked at. Men seem to be biologically wired to be attracted to secondary sexual characteristics, as well as a certain hip to waist ratio and facial symmetry. This largely unavoidable biological factor is probably what's contributing to a lot of the issues around body image and self-worth. A lot of times this turns into an obsession with losing weight. This is where a lot of times anorexia comes from. Despite what a lot of women think, though, this is not totally the same for every guy. There are some guys that are attracted to extremely skinny women, but that's not the majority. In fact, most guys you talk to don't find extremely skinny women attractive. There is a spectrum, and some guys actually like larger sized women. Some guys don't really care that much. It's not a big deal. At least it's not a big deal to all guys. But this, hip to waist ratio, facial symmetry, and secondary sexual characteristics is probably why, exercising is such a big deal and dieting is such a big deal, and why breast implants are such a big deal. It's going to be a guarantee that if you have more secondary sexual characteristics and you have a certain hip to waist ratio, that you're going to be more attractive to more men. I wonder, though, if pornography is driving some of this to some pretty ridiculous extremes. If that is all that matters to a man, to me, that's a huge red flag. Now, if a man says, none of that stuff matters to me at all, he's probably not telling the truth, because there is really some biology there. But when that's all that matters, that man is probably objectifying women, seeing them as nothing more than their body. Like I said, that's a big red flag. So what else then are men attracted to? Men are generally attracted to women who want them. If a woman displays a lot of interest in them, that's often a huge turn on. It's funny because initially it's the opposite way with men. If a man shows a lot of interest in a woman, that can actually be a huge turn off. It can look like he's desperate. I actually know of men who have said that they married their wife just because they thought that their wife really, really, really wanted them. A lot of men would prefer to be married to somebody who wanted them over somebody who was more attractive, who didn't want them as much. Now, following this, being a fun person, having a good personality, being intelligent, being easy to talk to, being willing to go out and do fun things with you, all of these things can be super attractive. And the less shallow your relationship is, the longer it lasts and the deeper it gets, the less important the physical things are, and the more important the emotional and character things are. But being wanted is always pretty important to them.